Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be reviewing Opus 1870 from Penhaligon. So if you'd like to know what I think about this fragrance, then keep watching. Now there is going to be a giveaway associated with this video, but I'm going to have the prize and also the rules. I'm going to talk to you guys about them at the end of this video, so do stay tuned for that. Opus 1870, this was not sent to me to review. This is a fragrance I purchased after sampling it heavily, and I'll get into why I sampled it heavily before I purchased it. And if you guys know, I've really been trying to get into Penhaligons even more. I've just fallen in love with them. And this is just one of the fragrances that I was just super into. Now this is a masculine fragrance and it was released in 2005. And the top notes of this are black pepper, yuzu, and coriander. At the heart, you're going to have clove, rose, cinnamon, and incense. And at the base, you have cedarwood, sandalwood, Ciara wood, and musk. Now this opens and dries down vastly different. It is not a smooth transition at all, and I'm going to get into that a little bit. But I did kind of want to mention to you guys that this is a masculine scent, and you guys know how I feel about fragrance. Fragrance is genderless, but whenever I talk about unisex fragrances or men's or women's, I kind of want to emphasize where you would find this, because some people don't like to wear feminine fragrances, some people don't like to wear masculine fragrances. I like to wear everything, but this is a distinctively, with no questions asked, to be found in the men's fragrance section. So I just kind of wanted to emphasize that a little bit. Now this fragrance has a pretty good projection and a longevity. I get about 6 hours on my skin. As you guys know, I live in the tropics and I hope for about 4 to 6. And the projection of this isn't bad. It's about moderately, a little bit past arm's length for the first 2 hours. And then it becomes a little bit more intimate, but it does kind of emanate off the skin a little bit. So where people are standing next to you or you're having a conversation, they'd still be able to smell it. Now the reason why I wanted to get into this fragrance and specifically talk about how I heavily sampled this is because its opening is so vastly different than its dry down. This has a lot, and I mean a lot, of really high praise on places like Base Notes and Fragrantica. But if you read the reviews, and I've read the reviews and before I decided to purchase this because I was very intrigued and a little bit confused by this fragrance, there are some people that have very real issues with this fragrance, which is why, although I do think it's a very safe smelling masculine fragrance, a very mainstream crowd pleaser, I would not recommend purchasing this blind. Now that has to do with the pepper and the yuzu. Now this has some really fantastic spice notes. You have the clove, you have the coriander, and that plays really nicely with the incense and the rose. Makes this like nice, warm, sexy, just very rugged but very sophisticated and presentable, almost gentlemanly scent. And the pepper in the opening is absolutely outstanding, and I think the yuzu is a very smart choice when it comes to citrus. Pairs really nicely with the pepper, doesn't make anything too sweet, just gives it a little bit of crispness and brightness. Now the problem is that the pepper and the yuzu tend to go away quite quickly. On my skin it went away after 45 minutes, and that leaves you with the middle notes. And although the middle notes smell amazing together, that jump from peppery, kind of bright, sharp, also with these warm notes, which made it really complex and really beautiful, it's kind of jarring. It's kind of like, what? What is this? I don't know. And it becomes a little bit more rose dominant as well. This is also around the time that the musk comes in, and the musk for some people can come off a little unpleasant. For me, on my skin, I actually really enjoyed it, but I really loved that opening so much, and I wore through so many different samples of this, probably about 3 to 4 samples at different times of day, at different heights of humidity and heat, to try and figure out when the best time to wear this fragrance to prolong that absolutely amazing opening. Now I do really like the dry down a lot. I think it's stunning, but I think the opening is just spectacular. And so unfortunately, even on my skin, the opening only really lasts, I think the longest I was able to do it, spraying it accordingly, wearing it on a cold, not so humid day, about an hour. So This isn't a fragrance I would recommend purchasing blind. This is a fragrance I would get samples of and wear and decide if you really like the entire lifespan of the fragrance, because it is vastly different than the opening. But overall, even though it changes, I still like what it turned into. It was still a really beautiful fragrance that worked nicely on my skin. Now, although you got more incense and you got a little bit more of the rose, it doesn't come off more feminine later. It's more of a woodsy, spiced rose, and I really think you get a lot more of the sandalwood and the clove, which helps balance out that kind of sweetness and powderiness that the rose can have sometimes. So it's really quite a beautiful little concoction of a variety of different notes that work well together but can kind of play differently on your skin depending on the type of skin you're wearing. That sounded weird. Okay, that's not what I meant. You guys know what I mean. Sometimes some people's skin pull notes differently. On my skin, the dry down of this, it's a nice balance between the rose, the musk, the woods, and the spices. So it plays really nicely. I love a good spiced and spicy woodsy rose. It's one of my favorite, and I mean favorite compositions when it comes to rose scents. And this definitely plays that part, but it's a little bit safer and more mainstream and more of a crowd pleaser, and not like a crazy, like, what is she thinking, what is she wearing, what is this smell, that I sometimes go for, and is okay. So this fragrance overall, I think, is a really safe fragrance. I think it's work appropriate. I think it's daytime appropriate. I think it's evening appropriate. I think this is the type of like scent you would wear to a country club for dinner or wear out playing golf. I'm just coming up with things I think gentlemen do. But overall, it is a very just distinguished gentleman scent, and I like to smell like a distinguished gentleman. But overall, I think it is worth checking out because it's really beautiful. I think that it's really exceptional in the fact that it is so versatile and you can wear it everywhere, and the opening is ridiculously stunning. But if you're one of those people where you pull pepper a little bit too much, or maybe the dry down is a little bit too jarring for you and you really fall in love with the opening, this might not be for you, which is why I wouldn't recommend purchasing it blind. Thus, why I have my giveaway. I have a giveaway. Yay! So you guys know I'm going to be doing way more of these this year. I'm going to try and do them quite frequently. So what I mentioned before is with the dry down of this fragrance, the pepper and the yuzu goes away and you are left with a woodsy, kind of spiced, musky rose. And not everyone likes that. And so if you're one of those people where you've wanted to try this fragrance but you're unsure if it's going to work for your skin, I have a great giveaway for you. I have 2 carded samples of Opus, and I also have the Penhaligon's scent library. This has another sample of Opus as well as a variety of more of their bestsellers. I can't say words today, guys. I'm really sorry. So this is going to be a giveaway so you guys can try it. I know Penhaligon's is one of the harder fragrances to find samples of. I know that you can find them really readily if you live in like a big city, because they sometimes are at Bloomingdale's or Saks or places like that. So I wanted to offer this opportunity to try out some of their best sellers and also of Opus specifically, because I do really love this fragrance. I did end up purchasing a bottle of it. I really like wearing it. But because of that transition, because the opening is so brief, I would not recommend sampling this briefly. I would recommend sampling this for a few days before you decided to purchase it. Even if you could find a bottle for $50, I would still recommend sampling it first. So one of you guys will have the opportunity to do that. Now, this giveaway will end on January 20th, and as you guys know, I usually like to announce the giveaways with a variety of other giveaways, so I'm probably going to be announcing the winner 5 to 7 days after the end of this giveaway. That does not mean that January 21st or 22nd or 23rd is the deadline. The deadline is the 20th. Because I choose a winner before that, I just don't publicly announce it until a little bit later on. And to enter, it is international, so you do not have to live only in the United States. It is welcome abroad. You can live anywhere in the world as long as you have an address I can ship this to. And also to enter, all you have to do is in the comment section below, just let me know that you would like to be entered. That's it. Oh, you also have to be a subscriber. So be a subscriber. Let me know in the comment section below that you would like to enter this giveaway, and you must enter before January 20th, 2018. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a little bit different than my normal fragrance reviews, but I did really kind of want to spend a little bit of time talking about the transition from opening to dry down, because I do really love this fragrance and I am a huge fan of Penhaligons. That doesn't give it a pass when it comes down to things that other people might have an issue with. I always try to remove my bias when I do these reviews, and that is a very real issue that people have with this fragrance, and it is an issue I've noticed on my skin. Although I like the transition and I like what it turns into, it is something that not everybody will appreciate. So do sample if you have the opportunity. If you guys have tried this fragrance before, or just like it or don't like it, or if you've been interested in this fragrance, let me know in the comment section below. And as always guys, if you like these videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this. And also don't forget to subscribe, because it's free. I'm free. I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well. So I'll always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever. And I'll see you next time. Bye!